Hi and welcome to another tutorial on Laravel roles, permissions and admin areas. I'm going to do this as a little bit of a series. So this is just the start of how to set up the database and your models. I've done this video because somebody requested it in the comments. I thought I'd make a quick video and explain how to do it. So the first things that we're going to do is set up the models and migrations. So if we do PHP artisan make model, and if you do -m, it'll create the migration as well. So if you do role, we've already got a user model that comes with Laravel, so we don't need to make that. Right, so if we set up this migration, so we're going to want a name for the role. I think that's all we need, just an ID and a name. So the next thing that we want to do is create a table which says which users have which roles, which is called a junction table. So I'm just going to copy this. I'll do this one actually. This one. So I'm going to call it role user. As a naming convention, you're always supposed to do it in alphabetical order of the table names. So then in this table we want to get rid of these. We just want role ID. I'm not sure why you have to put unsigned, but you have to do it for any foreign key. And then oops. And then we want to do the foreign keys, so you do on cascade delete just means that if you delete that role, it'll delete this row that we're creating now. If I just copy that and change it for users. And then if we just run that migration, I just need to go onto my box. So then if we do, so we've got roles, users, and role user. So all you do to add, so I've already got a user here, which is ID 1. So if we add a role, And I'm going to go through later on how to generate this in a UI. I'm just showing you what the backend's going to do. So then to give that user ID of 1, the role ID 1, you just do that, and then that user now has the user of role of user, sorry. And if we do admin, change this to 2. Now that user's an admin because the role ID is 2. We've given user ID 1 the role ID of 2. So then in the code we have to set up our relationships. So if we go to, so firstly on our user model, just 2 seconds. I think there's actually an example of this on the Laravel docs. So it's a many-to-many. Yeah, so they've actually got an example of this. So on a user you can see all the roles, and then yeah, so on the role I think you'd just do the same, but you'd put users, so that way you could look at a role and see which users have that role. But we don't actually need this for now. I can demonstrate how you would guard against this. So all I've got is I've got 2 demo routes, one that only a user should be able to access and one that an admin should only be able to access. So I'm just going to create a test user. Then hopefully I should be able to access that just as default, because I've not got any checks yet. It's just a route. So if I take away these ones, and now it should check that you are logged in, because this is a default Laravel route middleware. So there's 2 ways that you can guard against roles. The first one is by creating a middleware and putting all your routes in, so you'd have an admin middleware where only admins can get to these routes. And the other way is on a controller, on each specific method you could check, does this user have the role admin? So I'll show you the middleware first. So what we need to do is create a new middleware. So if we So I'm just going to create a new one called, just call it admin. Maybe check admin. And then go into the middleware that we've just created. Right, so now that we're in the middleware, what we want to do is in this part here, before we carry on with the request, we want to check that the current user has the permission to access it. So I've never actually done this before, so I'm freestyling a bit, but I'm sure we can get it to work. So if we try and get a list of the roles first. So if we do auth and then roles, I think we can do pluck name, which will just bring us back the names of each role that this user has. And then what I'm going to do is check if admin is in there. So let's have a look, see. See if it works. There are different ways you can do most things. Oops. Yeah, so that returns a boolean, so we can do an if statement with that. But what I'm going to do is say if it doesn't contain admin, and then obviously you could set some kind of flash session to give an error, like or you could redirect. Actually, I think I've got a page that I will be setting. I'll redirect to home for now, but I have got a page with no permissions which you could redirect to. So a page that just says that you do not have permission to access this feature. So this is just going to loop through all the roles that the user has. If it contains admin, if it doesn't contain admin, redirect to home. If it does, then carry on with the request. So I'm not sure if this will work. Hopefully it will. I just need to do add use for this. So let's put. I'm pretty sure that you can nest middleware groups. So I'm going to copy this. And then move this admin root inside here. So basically it's going to check that you're logged in, and then if you are logged in you can access the user root, and then inside that, if let's put this as admin, and then if you're an admin you can access this root, but we just need to register this middleware. I forgot to do that. So you can, if you go to kernel for middleware, and then it's at the very bottom, we just need to add a new line, call it admin, and this is admin check. Because our class is called admin check, but in our roots file we want to just be able to put admin. So that's what this is using. So let's give it a try and see what happens. Oh yeah, I think I just need to. Let's have a look. Oh, check. Check admin, not admin check. So let's give it a try. Collection. Oh. Because I just copied it out of the docs, I left it as collection where it should be user roles. Yeah, so it's redirected us back to home. So now, hopefully, if I change this user to have a role, so this is the user I'm currently logged in as. So let's give user ID 3 the role of admin, which is ID 2. So role 2, user 3. Hopefully now it should go to the admin page. Nope. It must be something to do with this contains. Let's just see what this is giving us back. I wonder if it's because it's lowercase and I put a uppercase A. Let's try. Yeah, so that works. This is why I like to not practice before, so that I fall into the same pitfalls as what you will do when you do it. So that's the middleware way of doing it. So hopefully we should... Let's just try and access the... if I take that permission away, I should still be able to access the user. Yeah, so that works. But then if I access admin now, it should redirect it to home. Yeah. So you just basically just have a page saying, let's just set one up quickly. So I've called that no permission. So I'm going to add a route outside. I'm going to put it in this auth middleware, but not in the admin, or else we'd not be able to get to it. So I've just added a quick route there that will display this permission denied. Sorry, you do not have access. So in our middleware, instead of redirecting to home, I think I called it that. I thought I called it that. Oh yeah, there we go. I must have just spelt something wrong. Yeah, so that's how you could just show like a nicer page that just has an error message, and then you could just put return to home. So then just one last time, let's just make sure admin user 3, and then you can have access. And you can do that with you can have loads of different roles, so you could have like manager. You can have any kind of role you want. You just add the roles in here, which will get IDs and then assign them to users. So users can have more than one role as well. I'm going to do another video on this on how to set up like a nice UI where you can set things instead of having to do it in the database. If you want to see that, make sure you subscribe. Just before I finish this video, I'm going to just show you another way how you can do a check on the actual controller instead of doing it in a middleware if you want to do that. The only problem with this way is that you end up repeating the code a lot, which is not a good thing. So basically, if I just literally copy this and then put that, so you just put that there. And then we'll put this back to how it was. So take out this. So now this route's just in the auth middleware, so you only have to be logged in to get to it. So it should still check and see if you're admin or not, which we are at the minute. Oh, I just need to add auth. So because we're using auth here, we have to put it at the top in the use. Yeah, so we do get access there, and then if I remove this, yeah, you don't have permission. So that's another way you can do it as well. Hopefully this helped some of you. If it did, please like and subscribe. I'm going to do a few more videos on this subject, on how to do like a full admin like back-end system, because a few people have been asking me for that. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe, and I'll try and do that video as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.